All right. So I wanted to do a quick training on how to revive your business and how to get started with your business. Because, hold on, let me move this light. Because it's something that was coming up, like needing a fresh start, needing to revive, and I really was just curious about new coaches and getting new coaches started right. And I really was curious about what were the things that hold people back in the beginning from crushing their business. And so I have a list here, and I'm going to go through the ones that are, I think, super important and try to go through as many as I can. And if you guys have any questions about anything, feel free to post them below, and I'll be happy to answer them, or have other leaders on the team can answer them as well. Or if you have any input, feel free, use that chat. That's our way to connect. So first I wanted to start with how to revive your business and how to get started. And since we are in the midst of a new program launch, I think this is the perfect time to start as a brand new coach, like we talked about last week, because you really we're all on the same page. You really get to see what it's like to bring people in and have a time-sensitive opportunity to get people into the test group with Sean T, and to have a new program, and it's launched on the 4th and it's starting on the 14th, and you have dates that you didn't set personally, but that are set that you have to follow, if that makes sense. So it's a really great time to start as a new coach, because it's a new program for you to follow. The energy is high and all that stuff. And then to revive your business, I think it's the perfect thing. Like, if you're looking for something else, if you're looking for inspiration, if you're like, you're kind of feeling stuck, or you've been around for a while and you're like, I don't really know where to go from here, because we all get stuck. I mean, it's just, we have our moments. We all have our moments where we kind of fall into a rut a little bit. And luckily, we have new programs that are coming out a couple times a year, and that you can, build momentum with. So if you're looking for a different way to spruce up your social media or to recommit to your business, this is it. Like, use Transform 20 to recommit to your business. Use it to recommit to your fitness, and really make this something. Like, don't just let it pass you by. Make it something that matters. Make it something that you are committed to, that you really want to make a difference with, and really use that tool. And you don't need a new program launch for this to happen. Like, Beachbody does that for us. But you guys, if you're in between launch programs, if we're in between launch programs that Beachbody puts on every few times a year, like, there's no reason why you can't create that energy for yourself with any of the Beachbody programs throughout the year. Let's say you want to do the Ultimate Reset. You can do a complete vlog and blow that shit up on your social media and share your entire journey with it and get people involved. You can do that with any of Autumn's programs or Sean's programs or whatever. You can do that with any program you want to do and get people involved. It's just about you being on your journey, and then the excitement comes from you being excited about it, and then being excited to create a group around it. So let's say you want to create a group around doing 21 Day Fix Extreme or whatever, and you want to get people involved. It's just you sharing your journey and then starting that group. You know what I mean? You create the energy. It's not Beachbody. It's not someone else. It's not a new Instagram, hack. It's you and your own journey, and how you're sharing that, and how excited you are about that journey. So if you are not feeling pumped about your fitness journey, if you're not feeling pumped, like really get in it. Are you passively working out? Are you passively involved in your wellness journey? Or are you taking it seriously? Because if you're taking it seriously, you can really, I feel like the energy is a lot different. Okay, so that being said, your fitness is your business. So if your business is feeling a little dry or you're not, sure, if your business is like meh, then your fitness journey is probably meh too, because your Beachbody business is directly reflected to your fitness journey and what you're doing in that, because we are a health and fitness company. We are health and fitness coaches. So it's so important to be on your journey. So in case you're unaware, there's I'm going to say 3 for now, 3 main vital behaviors for you to do as a coach. Okay. The number 1 is to invite people to join you on your journey, but I'm going to switch it and say being proof the product works is number 1, because Beachbody coaching, the coaching opportunity started because of the fitness part of it. So in case you don't know, this didn't start as a coaching, like a business opportunity. This was a health and fitness company with DVDs, with Insanity, P90X, and all that kind of stuff. Hip Hop Abs, I think, was pre-coaching. Slim and Six. I mean, there's like some oldies out there. And Beachbody started with those fitness programs. And then they saw that their customers, through the message boards, were supporting other customers. We're helping them. And they're like, how can we give back? How can we give back to our customers and really like spread the message more? And that's when the coaching opportunity came. So it stems from the health and fitness. Like that's what this company is. So you can't just like be out there trying to get people on board and trying to sell people, because that's not what this is. We are sharers, we're community builders, but it starts with our own journey and us being excited about what we're doing. So get excited about the program you're doing, get excited about your nutrition, try something new, get creative, have fun. People want to be a part of something fun. Like, don't make it all so serious. Life is already serious. People already have shit going on. Like, there's serious things already happening out there. So let's have some fun. Let's work on our fitness and let's get people on board. Let's get people started on really changing their lives, laughing more, having more fun, enjoying themselves. Okay, that being said, I'm going to go through some of the things that were mentioned about what holds people back from crushing it in their business, what holds people back from hitting the ground running. Okay, so one of the things was time and scheduling. And here's the thing. Everybody's busy. Everyone has things to do. Everyone has obligations. And, personal difficulties was another thing. So I'm going to blend that in. So like life happens, struggles on top of our, our daily responsibilities, our families, our marriages, our relationships, our jobs, our bills, school, whatever, like whatever it is, we all have obligations. And the thing is, no matter what your obligations are, if you have a business or not, whether you're a Beachbody coach or not, life is going to happen. You're going to have personal difficulties. You're going to have things that come up that are going to completely throw you off course. But you guys, you still have to show up for your jobs. You still have to show up for your family. You still have to show up for your priorities. So you need to make this a priority. And why should you make it a priority? Well, that is up to you, because why are you a coach? Why is this important to you? What is it going to do for you and your family? What opportunity is this providing for you? What opportunity in your health, in your wellness, in your fitness journey, in your future, in your family's future, your income, your goals, your lifestyle goals, your mindset goals, like your dream big goals. Like how important is that to you? And then, really connecting to that, because I know for me, I didn't really dream big before I became a coach. I thought like, my big goal was to not be like my mom. Was not to not be like everyone, you know, the lame adults that I grew up around who were complete losers and slackers. And that was my goal. I didn't want to be like them. I didn't want to be a drug addict. I didn't want to be like ruining my life or living on the system or completely poor. And that was my only aspiration in life. And then I went to college, and even through college, when I wanted to be a doctor in physical therapy because I wanted to be successful. And it was mainly just because I didn't want to be like, I didn't want to live the rest of my life how I grew up, you know? So when I came across coaching and I learned about like my mindset and my life and like traveling and being and having opportunity to travel, and let me just say how grateful I am and how grateful we all should be that Beachbody provides us with a free vacation every single year. Like their reward system is travel. How incredible is that? That's like life experience. That helps us to dream bigger. That helps us to see how much more is out there for us and how much more life we could be living, and stress-free, carefree, happy life we can be living. And I just feel really grateful for that because it's opened me up to so much because I never had that opportunity before. But it really just showed me that I could dream bigger. And that was my why. Like all the things I could do, like fire my boss, that wasn't a goal of mine before. I mean, I was looking to get a boss. I was looking to get a job through college, through getting into hundreds or at least $100,000 in debt to get a job, to have a boss. You know what I mean? To never be able to pay off my debt, you know? And then with this, like goals of earning 7 figures, you know what I mean? And being able to give back and being debt free and just making an impact and helping families change their health and the trajectory of their lives. I mean, it's just so much bigger, you know what I mean? And so when personal difficulties come up for me, I'm just like, I'll deal with that, but this is a priority. This needs, for me, that's why I made it a priority, because as simple and maybe weird as it sounds, but I want to give my inner child the life that she never had, the life that she's always wanted, and I want to provide that for her, you know? And that is my goal. And I want to provide that for the adults and their inner child, and then allow, you know, give them the opportunity to do something that they want with their families, bigger than what, you know, dream bigger for their families. And that's my mission. That's my why. And that's why I make it a priority. So it's really important that you guys connect to what that is for you, like what your why is for you, because that's what's going to keep you going and keep you focused to make this a priority. It's not just, you know, it's not just like a little fun thing on Instagram. I mean, it is, but it's so much bigger than that. And if you guys really see that and hold on to that, then that will give you the motivation to continue to move forward. That will give you the motivation to make this a priority. So when I started, I was a full-time waitress. I worked super late nights, like 3 a.m. And then I had to go to school the next day, and I was in upper level college classes with labs in every class, and I had tons of homework, and it was hard, and it really hurt my brain every day. You know, I had to really study hard because I'm not naturally inclined in that way. Like I had a 0.09 GPA in high school. Okay. So I had a 3.6 in college, and it's because I had to work my ass off. And so I put in a lot of effort. So for me, college was a priority. My job was a priority because, hey, I needed to make money. I had to pay my bills or else, you know, I didn't have family support. I didn't have any of that, like extra money. I was living paycheck to paycheck or less than that and on the grind. And so my job was a priority. And this became a priority for me too, because I wanted to change my life. one of the biggest excuses I had starting was like, I didn't have money, I didn't have time. And that's why I had to do it, because I didn't want to live the rest of my life saying, I don't have money, I don't have time, I can't do this, I can't do this, I can't go there, I can't experience that, I can't buy this, you know? I was tired of that. So that I had to do this. This became a priority for me. And so just like with any priority, you put it in your calendar. So time and scheduling, I scheduled the shit out of my life, like work, school, commute, you know, business time, workout time, every single thing was in my calendar. And that was it. Like everything else that I was spending my time on, like TV shows, you know, going out and partying, whatever, scrolling, all that stuff went away because I made this a priority instead. And I added value to my life and the life of others instead of wasting my time. So it really comes down to, if you think that like time and scheduling and life struggles and difficulties are in the way of you doing this, you really have to take a look at what this can change for you and how this can add value to your life. And in those life difficulties, in your struggles, in your time, in your schedule, how can making this a priority free up those things that you're struggling with? How can this actually help those things that you're struggling with? Okay. So let's see. Another one was judgment. So I think I really wanted to touch on this topic. And if you guys have any questions, if you have feedback or want to add to anything, feel free to post it in the comments. So judgment from friends and family, and rejection. I'm gonna bundle that together. Because I felt the same way. I was scared of what people would think about me because I never posted about myself really online. I never like shared my body. I wasn't like a selfie person. I wasn't, you know, I took pictures of birds and food, and not even food, sometimes food, but I just like took pictures of random stuff. It wasn't anything like profound. And I definitely wasn't sharing my story. I wasn't sharing any of that stuff. So when it came to becoming a coach and sharing about what I was doing and what I was excited about, and, you know, like starting fitness groups and stuff like that, I was scared what people would think about me. And, you know, people would say stuff in person all the time, like people, like friends or Derek's family, they would mention stuff whenever I saw them, but it was never mean. Like people were never mean. And if people are mean, if they actually are judging you, then you do not need that kind of negativity in your life. You know, if you're not posting like half naked pictures, like saying, follow me, like look at my boobs, like you're posting fitness progress and you're helping people, you're giving people inspiration, you're sharing about your life, and you don't have to share every single nitty gritty detail. Like please keep some privacy in your life, but like share your journey, because that's inspiring to people. And if anybody who judges you for being inspiring and for wanting to better your life, like that's not the kind of negativity you need in your life. So I'm just like, I very easily say bye, because I protect my circle, I protect my bubble, because it's that important, you know, like who you let in your mind is so important. And again, like fear of rejection, fear of judgment from what other people are going to think, it comes right back to how important is this to you? You know, what is this? What is your why? What is it going to provide for your family? And are you going to let somebody judge you and take you out the game? Are you going to let somebody rip out the red carpet from underneath you? You know, to me, this opportunity was a red carpet of life rolling out in front of me. I just had to work. I had to work for it. And I was willing to do that, because you have to work for anything in life. You have to work for your job. So might as well work for something that's going to give you financial freedom and like time freedom and like help people, you know, and create an impact and have fulfillment. So it always goes back to your why, and how important is this to you? How are you making it a priority, and why? And the rejection thing, when people, like, there's going to be people who say no, always. So I need you to know that right now, like there's always going to be people who say no. Sometimes there's people who are mean, and you just have to let it go because it has nothing to do with you. People who reject you are just saying no to themselves. They are not rejecting you. It's not a personal attack on you. They are just not ready to start their fitness journey. They're not ready to start a home business, whatever. Like, we're not here to force people or to get people or make people, you know, like that kind of language is super aggressive and I don't vibe with it at all. Like, you don't want to try to get people on board and make people do this with you. You're doing it, you know, like you have to choose that and decide that you're going to do this no matter what. And they can join the party or they could peace out, but you're going to be going, and they can jump on the train or they can go. And that's the kind of attitude you have to have, is like, I'm going to make this work whether you come with me or not. And if you have struggles with rejection, then I encourage you to read Rejection Proof. I don't remember the author right now. Do I have it up here? I don't think so. I think I have it on Audible. But I would read Rejection Proof if you struggle with that. Totally, like, such a good book. And with that, personal development is one of the vital behaviors. I think I went on a tangent, but because I was talking about the 3 vital behaviors earlier, and I was talking about being proof of the product and how your fitness is your business. And then the other one is inviting, because you want to invite people to the party. You're not going to have a business unless you have people in your business. Just like if you had a restaurant, you wouldn't have a successful restaurant unless people were sitting down eating, you know? So you want to invite people to be a part of this. You're a community builder, remember. And then the final, excuse me, something in my eye. What if my brain just like took a brain fart? Vital behavior, Jesus. The final vital behavior is personal development. And this is one of the things that helped me the most, because I was super negative, and I still struggle sometimes with being negative. Very rarely. It's normally to myself, not to others. But sometimes I struggle with negativity and being like cynical. And what helps me is personal development. It's like medicine for my brain, just like fitness is medicine for my brain. So if you could see, I have a whole wall of books, and a lot of them are personal development books. And I think there's this negative thought process for a lot of people when it comes to personal development. They think of it as self-help and it being like a weak thing. But there's this quote by, I think it's Jim Rohn or Dale Carnegie. I feel like it's Jim Rohn. And he says, go to school, or like, hold on, give me a second. It's like, normal education will give you a living, and self-education will give you a life, because you're teaching yourself and you're working on your mind. It's totally different. I've learned so much more in the last 5 years working on myself and my mindset and reading these books than I learned a lot in school too, but I've learned so much more valuable tools on how to live a better life from these books. And there's a thing, you know, the quote that says like, those who can't do teach, and those who can't do teach. But here's the thing with personal development books is those who do and did and who are successful teach, because they are sharing with you the tips and tools that they learned along the way to create a successful life. Like you don't want to take advice from somebody who hasn't been successful. Do you want to take advice from somebody who does not have the life that you have? So recircling back to the judgment thing and the rejection thing, and people telling you that you're doing something weird, or or that this business isn't going to work for you, or whatever. You know, people have their doubts and you know, limiting beliefs, and they're placing their limiting beliefs on you. Well, before you take advice from somebody, look at their life and ask yourself, are they having the relationship that you want? Are they having the business that you want? Do they have the income and, you know, the fulfillment and kind of lifestyle that you want? If not, you shouldn't be taking advice from them. And I've learned that taking advice from people who actually have a lifestyle that I want is way more valuable. And that advice comes through these personal development books. My personal favorite is Tony Robbins. I'm a Tony Robbins, I don't want to say fan, because I don't really fangirl over people, but I think the way he teaches is incredible and I love it. And so it's really helped me. I've done a couple of his CD programs, like his programs that you do from home. And I've also gone to 2 of his live seminars, and it's transformative. It's absolutely changed my life. So, so your personal development and your mindset is going to be so key when it comes to facing rejection, to pushing through the hard times in your life, to making this a priority, and you know, just like figuring it out. Like, your mindset is everything, and you already have negative self-talk. And if you let other people negative self-talk you, you're just going to like spiral down the drain and disappear. So you want to rally, first and foremost, you want to rally with your team and really just like stay plugged in, because we're all here to support each other. And this is like you not only like business space, but this is our support system. This is our like second family. And you want to rally around your team and really lean on your team and get support from each other, because that's what we're here for. And of course, you want to work on your mindset. So one of the things that really helped me in the beginning, when I was still going to school, I would, and I was so busy, I had no extra time to really sit down and read, because I had to read my big ass textbooks all the time. I would listen to, if you guys have Spotify, I would listen to, what is his name? I'll post it in the team page, but it's like motivational hip hop, and it's Roy Smooth, RoySmoothe, I believe is how it's spelled. And he takes speeches from like Jim Rohn and Les Brown, which is my favorite. I love Les Brown. And they take motivational speeches from these guys and other people as well, and he puts it like in a motivational hip hop mix. And it's really fun to listen to, and just like reprograms your mind, because we are replaying the same old tapes that we grew up with over and over and over again. So like the beliefs that were placed on us when we were a kid, you know, like from our families, from society, from the kids we grew up with, like whatever limiting beliefs that were placed on us are still there. And our negative self-talk is like replaying in our brain. And so it's important to rewrite the script. So for me, I believe I love reading like a book in hand. I think it's really great. However, I think hearing it is super powerful, because it kind of overrides what we've been hearing from our own inner voice and what we've been hearing from our surroundings. So so I recommend listening to audio. I recommend listening to that motivational hip hop by Roy Smooth that is on Spotify. And let's see. I really think that, you know, that covers everything, like really connecting to your why and connecting with, you know, why you're doing this, and having a positive mindset and really doing the work on that to rewrite the negative thoughts that are playing in your head is really going to help you be a powerhouse in this business and really persevere, and seeing that this is a long-term game. I know Lexi, I think it was Lexi, posted in the team page and answered the question like, struggling with realizing that this is a long-term game and not a short-term, like flash in the pan. And I think having that mindset and focusing on your why, and on top of that, really paying attention to success stories. So being on the national wake up calls, listening to other coaches who are sharing their success stories and tips and how they became a coach and why they're a coach and how long they've been a coach, and just sharing their stories and their journeys, and focusing on success stories. I believe, if I remember correctly, on Beachbody's YouTube, I'm pretty sure there's a success story playlist that you can listen to. And if not, I'm pretty sure there's a success story area on the Coach Online office as well. And really connect to the success stories and see people doing this, because that's what I did in the beginning. Like, I had to really work on my mindset, but I really focused on how people were succeeding and not listening to the negative things people were saying, or focusing on the people who gave up on their goals. Like, I focused on the people who stick it out. The people who motivate me the most in this business are the ones who've been here for 10 years plus, and who have been here for a long time, because they persevere. They've gone through a lot of changes and they continue to move forward, and they don't give up. And those people inspire me, because I'm one of those people who is not going to give up. I'm not going to quit. I'm not just going to throw it all down the drain. And so that motivates me, is to see the people who never gave up and continue to persevere and make this a priority for them. And not only are still here, but are making an impact. Okay, so I'm going to wrap this up. So a lot of the doubts and fears that people had when they wrote it in the team page and Set Your Soul on Fire were a lot of things that are just excuses and things holding them back. But I think it boils down to not seeing the potential in the business and not really making this a priority and connecting to their why. Not having a strong enough why. It has to go deeper than just, something really simple. It has to really motivate you and move you to the core, so that you make it a priority, so that you show up even when things are difficult in your life, And so one of the things before we hop off, and if you guys have any questions, feel free, and I'll spend a couple minutes answering your questions. But somebody said that they have a small space, and so actually I think it was a couple of people said this, like small space and cluttered house. And I wanted to share about that because I've moved a lot since I became a coach. I actually lived in a yurt, so I would work out in my kitchen. And so that was a thing. And then another time when I moved to Oregon, we didn't have a house yet. So we lived in a tent, and we were moving, so we were camping for 2 weeks, but I lived in a tent for 2 weeks, and I still worked out and stayed on my fitness journey. We got as healthy food as we could, and we had a cooler and we cooked, and I made it a priority. So it always comes back to, is it a priority or not? And then when I moved to Oregon, we didn't have a place yet, because it was a hard market to find any rentals, and we have 2 big dogs. It was kind of a struggle. And then one of our friends was actually renting out their house, so we ended up getting their house. But in the meantime, I think it was like a month and a half, we lived in my friend's garage. And in a garage, okay, we still didn't have a kitchen. We had like a mini fridge, and it was ugly. It was a garage, okay? It was like not a redone pretty garage. There was a Jeep in there. There was sharp ass tools and weapons in there, and what is that pink stuff? Fiberglass. And it was just not cute. It was dark. There was one window, So what I did was I did my best. I actually had a full length mirror, and I would take selfies in there. I would record my workouts in there, and I would take 99.9% of my photos outside. I would just go outdoors and take pictures outside. So if your house is cluttered, go outside and take pictures, Or better yet, clean your house. Like declutter. One of the best things I ever did was minimize, and it freed up so much space in my head. It freed up so much, you know, energy, and just made me feel really good to minimize. So if your house is super cluttered, I would consider minimizing. Take your photos outside in natural light during the day. And if you have a small space, just make it a priority. Again, we have a small space now. We have a 2-1 bungalow, like little cottage house, and it's like 650 square feet. We, instead of having like a dining room table or anything, we just made that a gym. So no matter what, like, we make it a priority. So that's what it all boils down to, is how much you're going to make it a priority. If it's a priority, you'll make it happen. If it's not, you'll make an excuse. And, you know, that's really it. So one last thing, somebody mentioned something about health issues. And I think, you know, that's one of those things where your journey as a coach isn't meant to be perfect. Like, you don't have to have a 6-pack of abs, you know? You don't need to be in ultimate shape. And if you are, that's great. If that's your goal, that's great too. But you don't have to do that to be a coach. You don't have to do that to make an impact and help people. You just have to be yourself and on your journey and sharing it along the way. So if you're having health issues, you know, share about that, but like, do your best. And, you know, there's people who go through cancer, who are going through chemo as a coach and still show up. You know, there's people who go through crazy surgeries because of sickness, and they still show up, and they're still, you know, making an impact, and they're connecting with people who have the same issues, and they're helping them, you know? So it's all what you make of it. It doesn't have to look like someone else's journey. You don't need to be perfect. You don't have to live on an island. You don't have to like live on the beach or, you know, whatever. You don't have to have anybody else's journey. It's just your journey. And with that, I'm going to hop off. It's been an hour or so. So I hope this was a helpful call. And if you guys have questions again, or want to elaborate, or have any feedback, or want to help someone else, then feel free to comment below. I hope you guys have an awesome day, and thanks for hanging out with me.